Hi.
Hi.
How are
Thank
you?
you. I'm good. How are you?
What did you say?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm sick.
How are you? You sound terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I will only take 5 minutes of your time. I could answer all these questions if I didn't have to just have you say them.
No, you're fine.
Man, what do you think about the funds?
It's good.
You think it was good?
Yeah.
A good start?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Good. Good.
That's $10,000 for Z. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Good start. Good
Yeah.
start.
He was like, wait, so I can spend that however I want? And I was like, yeah. So he said he was going to set up a meeting with you and Woot to talk about it.
Sure. Sure. Well, it's exciting. It was just an awesome event to see the community.
Yeah. It was
Like
really
that
nice.
was, I don't know. I hadn't been part of Roosevelt, so it was really cool to be involved. But
You already have stuff hung up on your walls?
no, I'm in my
Oh.
mom's office.
I was like,
No,
dang, you were fast.
No. Maybe if I didn't have to teach all day, but no way.
Okay.
I think I'll move. I could just have a storage unit, so it'll take a day and then settle in over Thanksgiving break.
Okay.
I want to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, too many other good things going on in my life. So, Mama. All right. Want to get started so then I can let you go and be a dad and get some rest? Okay. What are 2 or 3 programs or activities that you do in your school to promote and or increase parent involvement with their child's education?
Are you taking a class at Viterbo?
You should shave his fur.
Yes, you know this.
Okay, that's what I thought. I think. Did I get asked these questions by somebody else recently? Anyway, that doesn't matter.
I sent them to you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they look familiar. So, can you repeat the question? I've become distracted by wondering if I already answered these questions.
What are 2 or 3 programs or activities that you do in school to promote and or increase parent involvement in their child's education?
Okay, cool. So the biggest, the most exciting one is probably the community night, which is on the Thursday of homecoming. And that's an informal gathering of stakeholders with club fairs and activity booths, food trucks, inflatables, a parade, and then a big bonfire. So it's a way for, families to be at school, be connected to the school in a really positive way, and a chance to network with people as well. So that's one event that's specific to that. The second event that I would say that we use to promote, parental involvement is we had a community potluck to kick off the school year, where teachers brought items, families brought items. We grilled out hot dogs, gave out water. We had counselors there to answer questions about schedules. So that was a definite, really cool way to increase parental involvement. And then the third is we're just trying to be really better at communicating. And so sending out information on Connext, which has translate capabilities, helps in terms of that communication so that they know what's happening, when it's happening, and where it's happening. But they can't.
Awesome. All right, thank you. Do you have any way that you gather feedback from the parents that provide you with directions for programs, policies, and changes?
We're in the midst of developing a school advisory council based off of the model from Philadelphia Public Schools. So by March, that'll be going at Roosevelt, and that'll be 60% or more non-school staff, so parents, students. So that'll be a really good mechanism that we formally establish this school year. Other than that, we can informally get surveys, and then, we have other informal opportunities like PTA, Foundation, Writer Club, different organizations that have parent volunteer leaders who have access to admin to express concerns and thoughts.
Yeah, we do have a lot. So with that, do parents have any role in decision making in your school? If so, what?
Oh, I did answer these questions. There's a teacher at Brody or Hoyt There's a teacher at Hoyt. I had to do this with the teacher at Hoyt.
Well, if you were so awesome, we wouldn't ask you to help us out.
Yeah, the Hoyt principal told her to ask me. Sorry. What's that question again?
Do your parents have any role in decision making in your school?
Yeah, they do. Not really around policies necessarily, but like they have decision making powers over events. So for the teacher who's listening to this interview by Molly and heard my other answers, I didn't say that in the last one. It is refined thinking since I've had time to process it. So they plan the R party, they plan other, not the R party, they plan the senior party, they plan other things, and they totally control those decisions. They fundraise and they execute their vision for that. Um, the PTA decides what merchandise it's going to sell. It decides what things they're going to do for teachers to support the school. So they get to decide all of that on their own through their leadership infrastructure. But there's no formal process currently for families to be a part of decision making. Those informal that I talked about before apply, and that school advisory council will be coming up.
Awesome. So I kind of know this because I work pretty closely with you. So what tools, other than probably School Connects and Twitter, or websites, newsletters, social media platforms, or on-site events, do you use to communicate with parents, and how often do you use these forms throughout the school year?
I use Twitter daily. I use Facebook less often. I use Facebook personally often, but I don't tag Roosevelt into my Facebook posts as much as I do Twitter. So then I do a weekly voicemail to families on Fridays, which I really like doing. I didn't like doing it in the beginning, but I like doing it now.
I think they love it.
They do, yeah. The thing that I don't enjoy about it is that it's only in English, so I can't translate it easily and disseminate it, that way. But what I do now is I download the recording and I send it to our ELL teacher who teaches the newcomers, and then she goes over that voicemail with the students in her class so that they can pass on the information to their families.
Got it.
So that's like, I don't do a newsletter like some other schools do with staff, but this isn't about staff. I do a newsletter for staff, but I don't do one for families.
Alrighty. What are your parent concerns that you deal with most often in your position as the principal? And are there any issues that are more difficult than others?
Parking.
We'll have to sell more spots next year.
Right. See, now I'm nervous because I want to make sure I say the same things as the last interview.
It's okay.
Parking. What else did I say?
Parent concerns.
They get like whatever the hot issue is in the news. So masks, CRT, just broadly speaking, if there's something that's like percolating in the news, that can become a thing that I deal with. And then, like concerns about their students' needs, whether or not they're being met or not.
Got it. And so that kind of goes into the next question regarding the community. What are a few community issues or concerns that you deal with most often? Like non-school groups that contact you with concerns, if any?
Yep, they complain about the trash. They complain about what they perceive to be students maybe vaping or doing drugs. They complain about parking. They complain about the noise at the stadiums. They complain about, how fast cars drive around the neighborhood, those kinds of things.
Yep. Alrighty. What about teacher-related concerns? What are some that you deal with most often to prevent potential school and community relationship problems between the teachers and the community?
To prevent the teachers and I mean, a lot of our teachers are sponsors of activities, and so, you know, kind of being the middle person with complaints about sound for band, being the complaints about sound for softball and baseball. I just try to be honest and transparent with the community members about what our work is as a school and who we serve, and that yeah, so that's an example. Um, and then I try to work proactively with the neighborhood so that they can support us. So like I recently went to a Waveland Neighborhood Association meeting, talked to them,
cool.
let them know about like a Amazon wish list for teachers and things of that nature. So,
Got it. So we can work together.
yeah.
All right. Two more. Is there someone that you call or notify when difficult issues, like T's mentioned before, occur? Does the district have a procedure for principals to follow when communicating with parents, community, or the press?
I mean, none of the things I've talked about, I feel like I need to call for advice on, but I do notify Mike Vukovic, the director of high schools, of things that he might catch wind of. I go to him for advice on like safety concerns, staff discipline, those sorts of things. Or like if there's like a super irate parent, I'll talk to him about that. But I don't largely, for any of the things we've talked about, I don't really go to him for advice because I feel like I know what to do. Yeah, I think there's some policies around like communication. I mean, I shouldn't say I think. I know there are policies.
Right.
I think they're like basically like be professional, Like, I don't know what they are specifically. When I need to do like a notice about something that is, hey, I'm on an interview. When I do like a message to the entire community about something that was potentially a hot issue, then I run it through the communications team to get their feedback on the draft of the letter before that kind of a thing.
Got it. All right. Lastly, Mr. Schappaugh, do you have any suggestions or tips for me as I prepare for administrative position and work with parents and community members in the near future?
Yep, they sense weakness and they like to pounce on it, and so know your why, be able to explain the why, and be consistent, and you'll be fine.
All righty. I'm going to end my recording.